Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to it officially. Get the energy going because it is the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ching, ching, ching! Oh, yes, and we're doing something absolutely special. Listen to this. South Africa truly has some of the most impressive restaurants. And when it comes to bringing fine dining to home cooking, we need to call in an expert. Oh, yes, and we've set the bar high this morning. Absolutely excited because we've got award-winning restaurant owner Luke Dale Roberts in the building, and he's here to show us just how easy it is to actually prepare simple ingredients and still give them that fine dining edge right here in the Expresso kitchen. So if you have any culinary questions, come through. Luke is here to serve us and we can have a discussion with it on 063-408-8863. So let's get into this. Luke, brother, how are you doing?
Good, man. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. I'm so excited for this. You are an absolute legend in the game. We'll talk about that in a bit though. But I see an entire kitchen full of ingredients. We're going to get busy. What are we doing? Because I do see fish out here.
So what I want to do today is I want to take hake, which is one of the humblest of fish.
Yeah, and in South Africa we love it too, eh?
I adore it. It's super clean. As long as it's fresh, it's delicious.
Yes.
And it's affordable. So I wanted to take hake and I wanted to take a deep dive into the world of hake and cook it in 3 ways. So I'm doing a ceviche,
Beautiful.
I'm doing a little hake and fennel salad, and I'm doing a little roulade of hake with a mussel cream.
Ooh, those words are half of them I don't even understand. But man, I do understand that you make incredible food. You can scour and find incredible talent, and much so that your accolades are pretty impressive, man. The restaurants that you're involved in are incredible. I believe it's Potluck Club in both Cape Town and Joburg, I believe.
Correct.
Salsa as well.
Not salsa, but salon.
Salon as well, yeah. And then we've got a couple market clubs as well.
Yeah.
What other restaurants are you involved in, man? The list is incredible.
We've also got test kitchen fledglings at the Biscuit Mill.
Are you involved in that too?
Yes, yeah.
Whoa, okay. So pretty much any time I'm actually having an incredible fine dining experience, you've got some part to play in that, yeah?
I might have had a little sprinkling of salt in there, you know?
Let's sprinkle some magic onto this one. I have no clue when it comes to fine dining, just about eating it. So I'm definitely keen to get educated for one word. How are we doing this thing?
So the first thing we're going to do is a ceviche, but the difference here is it's actually a Vietnamese style ceviche. So we've taken Latin America, we've cooked the fish essentially in lime juice and some aromatics, and then we've taken Vietnam, we've thrown a bit of that in there. So it's just like super alive, super fresh.
Yeah, and it's giving me that sort of international feel as well, you know what I mean? You got that freshness, which reminds me of like an ocean, but at the same time you got adventure from the States. So I'm loving this. You're giving me the emotions. So, what was the word you said? Ceviche?
Ceviche, yeah.
Ceviche,
Or
all right.
Ceviche, as they call it.
All right.
Yeah,
well, let's get into that.
Right.
I'm very excited, and I see all the colors here, which, the rainbow is out here, so that means the health box are definitely getting ticked. While you are obviously mastering this, there's a voice note that's come through. Everybody's so excited that you're here, Luke. You mind if I play this and hopefully you can assist? Let's hear what
let's
this
go.
one is.
Yeah, for sure.
Brenda, what's up? Brenda, put your volume up. Brenda.
Where's Brenda?
All right, Brenda seems to be soft. I don't think I can hear this voice note, so we'll try get Brenda's voice note back in for now. We don't have to worry, though, because we've got a lot to pay attention to over here. So what have you just done?
So the fish has gone into the lime juice, freshly squeezed lime juice.
Okay.
I'm adding some spring onion to that. I'm going to add a little bit of chopped coriander.
Right. Is the lime juice acting in more than just a sort of flavor enhancer? Does it do anything to
It actually cooks the fish.
Okay.
So you can see the fish is starting to go that slightly opaque colour.
Yes.
So it's actually a lovely way. You know, you got sashimi in Japan.
Yeah.
You've got ceviche in South America.
Okay.
And it's a lovely way of introducing flavour into raw fish, because I often find raw fish is actually, it's the condiments that taste. The raw fish itself is quite neutral in taste.
Yeah, it's very neutral. It's just, lack of a better word, it just tastes fresh, if anything.
Exactly right.
The flavour profile isn't that, like, sort of vast.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So listen, I believe that the technical issues have been sorted out. We've got that voice note coming through now. So while we're setting this up, let me dance with you and switch this side. Let's see what Brenda has to say right now. Brenda, you turned your volume up.
Good morning, Expresso. It's Brenda from Boksburg. What are other good fish options to make ceviche?
Ooh,
okay.
Nice question. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah.
Brilliant question. I would do it with yellowtail.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it with yellowtail. I would do it with tuna. I would do it with, you know, anything any white fish. You can adapt it to anything, you know.
Oh yeah, but that's a great one because the yellowfin that we get out here especially, it is world class.
At the moment, it's outstanding.
Yeah, I can just imagine how that would infuse with all these sort of flavors, but it almost doesn't matter because like you said, I really think the flavor and everything coming from this is being enhanced by those condiments
Those
and all these
ingredients,
beautiful colours.
that's right, yeah.
So what's up next? Okay,
So
'cause I'm paying attention here.
Next up, we've got nuoc chum. It's
Nok chum.
nuoc chum.
Chum, okay,
It's a Vietnamese seasoning.
Nice.
It's made with fish sauce, lime juice, brown rice vinegar, a little bit of grated palm sugar, ginger, garlic, chili, and again, I'll put some coriander in there.
And of course, now these are pretty similar ingredients to what I would imagine when it comes to like that sort of Thai infusion. But for
Exactly
me,
right.
this is the kind of thing that kind of makes you feel like you're on holiday, especially South Africans and our rand at the moment. When we are choosing any holiday options, the sort of Vietnamese, Cambodia, Thailand areas really help when it comes to that exchange rate. So this is holiday feels for us right now.
Well, that's
on top of it.
I think that's part of a chef's job, actually, is to take the you know, particularly for the salon, which is a journey around the world.
Yes.
You take the guests on a holiday without them having to buy a flight ticket.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting a bit of that international feel right now, and almost two continental feels at the same time. Like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I love that, man. So anybody out there that's not on a very high budget, don't worry. You can still go international. Head into your kitchen, get this recipe, and you'll be inspired from all over the world. I love that. So where are we at here?
You got your fish sauce, you got your palm sugar.
Nice.
You warm it through just to melt the fish sauce.
Okay.
Hit it with a load of lime juice.
All right.
Then a little touch of garlic, chili according to how spicy you want to get. I quite like a lot of spice. Ginger in there as well. And just have a smell. Have a smell of that.
Whoa.
You're instantly transported to Thailand, Vietnam,
That's so weird,
Cambodia.
100%, but there's almost like a weird sweetness coming through from this, and I don't know where that comes from, because there's nothing sweet in this, but the combination for me is doing crazy things on my palate.
A little bit of palm sugar in there.
Ooh,
Not too
okay,
much.
okay.
So sweetness is very apparent in like Southeast Asian cuisine.
Yes.
But it's always balanced with sourness and
Sour,
spice.
yeah. That's almost like that Oriental sort of nod.
So
Does that meet your standards? I love when the chefs do that. You can always see like something's going on in their mind, like
try it.
have a little taste. Okay, let me try that out. Oops. Oh my
so
goodness.
it's salty, sweet, sour.
Yeah.
And it kind of hits you with a bit of chili.
And again, like when you talk about activating flavor profiles, man, my tongue is alight because you got the sweet, you got the sour, you got everything. It's like, it's a party.
It is a party.
It really is, okay.
But it's not offensive. I was actually watching Gordon Ramsay on this like hot wings kind of challenge yesterday. And he actually had to run off the screen because it was that hot. So like today, I'm not going that hot. I'm going to go hot, but not that hot. I don't want to have you like rushing to the, you know, the back of the screen.
But let me tell you, from that though, it is such a perfect balance. And what's happening in the kitchen right now is absolutely perfect as well. We're dancing around, we're creating ingredients, but we're having so much fun. And we are going to finish this recipe in just a bit. So Luke, hold up there. We've got to show Mzansi the next few steps. We are going to be carrying on with this culinary conundrum. So of course, you can pop that in the pants along while you're at it, because we are going to move over to the next few steps. But don't forget, you got to come through and use that number 064088863, because the man is here to answer any questions. So elevate the questions, make it hard, because I know we're going to answer it. All right. So apparently, I don't want you to lose out on this step because it's an important one, and Luke doesn't either. So let's just spend more time on this because, oh, it looks beautiful. But what's exactly going on here?
So I've taken, this is a simple trick. I've taken a piece of rice paper that you would normally make a roll out of, and then I drop it in a little bit of hot oil, and then what I end up with is a little...
Oh, beautiful.
It's almost like a massive prawn cracker, and that's going to garnish the thing and give it that nice little crunch.
That is absolutely beautiful. And again, you could probably dip it into a few things and taste that flavor. I think the fish is going to be coming through next. So before we get into that, we will dive into the second part of this culinary conundrum. So Mzansi, come through with the questions, and we'll carry on serving you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Yep, Luke Dale Roberts is busy around me in our kitchen. He is actually here. Welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Sing, sing, sing! Not with hot oil, not with hot oil. So we had a masterclass from the award-winning restaurant owner, Luke Dale Roberts, and he has another 2 hake-themed dishes in store for us today. And of course, we've put it to you, if you want to ask Luke any questions while we've got him here, please drop us a voice note, 0634088863. All right, Luke, what's going down? We have moved from the ceviche to pan searing.
Okay, pan searing. Simple warm salad of hake, fennel, blood orange, grapefruit, citrus season, winter, making the most of all of that good stuff. So we look at that blood orange, look at the colour on that.
That is crazy beautiful. It almost looks like you painted it.
I know.
That is exquisite.
So I'm just putting a couple of segments of blood orange in the bowl.
What does the blood orange do? Why is this slightly different in terms of citrus? Why is this the go-to?
It's colour and flavour, and it's just exotic. They're around for such a short amount of time in the season.
Cycle, yeah.
And it's just like, it's just about celebrating what's seasonal, you know?
Completely, and especially when you live in a place like South Africa or, you know, even in Cape Town where you've got access to so much.
Exactly
Cook
right.
what's around you, just like the humble hake, which we are heroing today.
The humble hake, exactly right.
What is the go-to when cooking a piece of hake? Because this is something, because it's so accessible, and by that I mean it's dirt cheap in South Africa. It's a beautifully, economically accessible fish. When cooking it, when searing it like this, what are we looking for? So
I always sear my fish. I start off with a hot pan, and I lower the temperature to a kind of medium heat. I'll get good colour on either side. I don't want to overcook it, and I'll finish it with a little bit of butter and lemon juice.
Okay.
So it's all about, you know, just, you know, getting the caramelization on the fish itself. So next up, what I've got here is a little bit of white wine, some shallots, like little pink onions. I'm cooking them down. I'm going to add a little bit of cream to that. And that's going to cook down.
And I suppose with a fish like the hake, it's a great sounding board. I know you were talking about how fish can often lack the flavour if we don't introduce it into the fish, that we're often just tasting the condiments or the sauce. But
exactly right.
That being said, it gives you a sounding board to push the boat out and have a little bit of fun with the flavours that you're playing.
Well, I mean, that's what cooking's about, isn't it? You know, I think it's about a social... It's particularly at home. I mean, in a restaurant, it's quite intense and hard.
Yeah.
But at home, it should be that social feeling of sharing that time, perhaps with a friend or loved one, and really exploring what it is that's fun about cooking, you know?
For sure. And I mean, it's something that I do with my kids. I love, and I think this is a part of your journey where I've noticed you pour a lot back into those following in your path. And we've actually got a voice note coming through right now from Whitney, from Kimberly. Hello, Whitney. Hello, Kimberly. And she was asking for some advice, but let's hear from Whitney herself.
Hi, this is Whitney from Kimberley. So I wanted to be a chef my whole life, but you know, life happens. What advice would you have for someone who wants to be a chef but maybe can't afford to study?
Ooh, I like that. So not enough bank to go to culinary school, but desperately wants to be a chef. What do you recommend?
I mean, I think the key is to get involved, go knocking on doors. I mean, that's what I did when I was in London. I used to get the evening standard on a Thursday, check the ads, phone the restaurants. Have you got any positions, junior positions? And I mean, show willing. If you show willing in anything, I think people will grab you.
Yeah,
you know?
Go beat the pavement, man. Just go and do that because it's proves your commitment in that space. What is it that you're looking for in a young chef? What is that potential or that spark that gets your interest? What gets you pouring so much of your energy and resources into these younger chefs?
I think what I'm looking for is, I think, just a will, a commitment, a desire. You know, someone that keeps their senses tuned in, and they got to be willing to do the hard yarns. You know, yeah, I think that's the key. And I think to be great at anything, you've got to be passionate about it, and you've got to love.
There's got to be a purpose in there. Yeah.
There's got to be a purpose in there. So I mean, at Fledglings, we've taken, you know, people that have not necessarily had any formal education at all in the culinary world, and we've groomed them into chefs and waiters and baristas and all that kind of thing. So it goes to show, cooking is a trade, but it is also an art.
And it's a gateway. I think it's one of those, I call them life hacks or shortcuts in life where you can break the rules and you can do miraculous things because there is an emotional element here. We all know what we love. We all have a sense of taste that speaks to our culture. And of course, today we are really heroing the South African culture with the hake. I call it the humble hake. And we are doing it in 3 different ways. So we've had our beautiful ceviche, which is so fresh and popping with those lovely fresh flavors. Now we are pan-searing our hake and we have got a grapefruit, nice or blood. We're using unbelievably beautifully coloured fruit for this, which I think is spectacular. And tarragon, what is it about this flavour combination as you add the next step? How does this all come together?
I mean, tarragon for me is another one of those gifts of the season. It's around for a couple of months per year. And again, it's about celebrating it. It's got a light aniseed kind of flavour, which goes beautifully with fish. And then I've got the grapefruit pearls in there as well.
Oh, so there's a textural element here.
Yeah. So this is one of those kind of zingy, you know, Sunday lunch on the side, piece of fish, zingy salad, and it's alive and it's healthy. And I'm finding I'm cooking a lot more with vegetables and herbs and spices and a lot more fish recently.
Which is good, bud. I like the way you tap your belly as you say that.
Yeah. I suck my belly in as I said it. Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding, my friend. I'm getting a lot of herbation. That is a very heady sauce. There is a lot coming off there.
Yeah. There's a little bit of butter in there, which is always great with fish. So I can't be all healthy. Should I start plating it?
Please put it all together. And this is where the theatre comes together. So what's informed, I love the look of the salad. And they say you eat with your eyes, but there is an element of theatre here, which is great.
And look at the colour that's come out of the oranges as well, you know. That light pink colour is beautiful.
You just changed the season. You've just done that with one meal. You've just brought spring into focus. I love it.
There's your fish. And then my nice sauce.
That fish didn't need a lot of cooking. How do you know it's right?
So what I did is I cooked it on one side. I flicked it over. Let's turn that down because we're going to have a fire. I flicked it over. Then I drew it to the side of the stove, and I just let the residual heat from the pan. Again, you can feel when you squeeze the sides, it mustn't be hard, but it mustn't be bouncy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can almost see the flakes coming off it as you squeeze it.
And you want to honour the ingredients. I know it's become almost a cliche, but when you are working off seasonal ingredients, working off beautiful, simple proteins like this, you want to make sure that you do that part properly. I don't want to sound like a purist to, honour the protein, but...
No, but it's true.
I mean,
it's about respecting ingredients as well. I'm very, very serious about that kind of thing. And then that's your dish. I put the little grapefruit and tarragon butter on it. I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of fresh parsley, some fresh herbs again. You know, you can never have enough fresh herbs. That's dill. And then your tarragon.
When combining, because this is something, I love the notion of layers to the flavour and seeing the fresh and the cooked, kind of that common thread through. When working with such strong flavours and such a diverse mix, how do you get that balance? Is it an intuitive thing? Is it something that gets beaten into you by the chefs before you? How do you kind of develop that sense of when it's right?
That's a hard question. I mean, some things are naturally friends, like fennel goes with orange. Tarragon goes with fish. So you kind of, over the years, you build up that kind of matrix in your head of what goes with what. But then there's a lot of intuition there. And there's often, I mean, for me with flavour, there's often you play with opposites, sweet, salty, sour, sour, sweet. But then you also have that aspect of actually getting flavours that they step together closely, which gives you an overawing sense of flavour,
And there's often that moment where, like 30 seconds after the mouthful, you're like, wow, okay, now my brain's had a chance to catch up to my tummy.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
Okay, well, that being said, we need someone whose brain is as fast as his tummy. I'm going to ask Ryle to step in here because, shame, this guy's been sitting like a Jack Russell on the side,
just waiting. And I know Luke's making some here, that's all that
I know, we often put you through your paces and make
my offering for the espresso team.
Do I kneel first? Like, how does one accept a dish like this?
I kneel. I do it like that.
I'm going to bestow you, my friend. I'm going to bestow you. That looks beautiful.
Oh, guys, this is an absolute honor. When you know the magic that this man has created and everything that he's touched, it's like I'm diving into a plate of gold right now. And I'm not going to take a TV bite. I refuse, Mr.
And, remember, Luke is standing right next to you, but we want to score out of 10 there, please.
Oh, my gosh. So, it's actually obvious that the flavor was going to be good, and I expected that. But the texture and the way you prepared the fish, it's melting in my mouth when I eat it. Is that normal?
I was standing right next to the fish as it cooked.
Were you? Was it the... No, honestly, man, the balance of flavor here, nothing's overpowering. Everything seems to be in the right place. And honestly, the way you prepared the fish...
It's just gently cooked, That's the thing. You got to treat it with love. You got to treat fish with love.
Honestly, I know this is a joke, but some of my people in my family, they don't have teeth. They have, like, dentures. Yeah. You don't need teeth to eat this, people. It's that good. Oh.
You've just solved it. You've solved Cape Town's
Yeah,
problems.
this is like a smoothie, but it's been constructed. It's incredible.
Let's see if he can deal with load shedding for his Joburg recipe a little bit later. Now, we've got one more incredible hake dish to prepare for you this morning. It's not lost on us. What a privilege it is to have this man stood beside us. Luke Dale Roberts is here, and he is cooking. I want to say for you, but it's more for us this morning, and we are here for that. The Culinary Hotline Bling, continues in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we are back for the final installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. There we go. And we've been treated to a fine dining experience here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we couldn't have put it together without this incredible chef. Chef, it's been so incredible having you here. We've asked our listeners, our viewers, to also share some voice notes with you. So let's hear what you had to ask Chef Luke Dale Roberts. So our first one came through from Nasli. So let's take a listen to this one that came through on WhatsApp.
Good morning, Expresso family and Chef Luke. Thank you for the amazing dish you made. My question today is, how can I prevent my fish from breaking? I tend to break my fish into pieces whenever I fry it. And I don't have black oranges and I don't have spring onions. Can I improvise with normal orange and onion? Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Okay, Chef, lots going on. She was asking you about alternatives for ingredients for the previous dish that you made.
For the blood orange.
Yes.
So any fish would work beautifully well. I would use regular oranges, naartjies in there, a little bit of fennel. If you don't have fennel, I would use celery, like a finely sliced celery. I mean, you just got to go with your gut, but those would work very well. Season with lemon, and then just a simple butter sauce with white wine and cream and a little bit of butter could work fine.
Okay, and to make sure the fish doesn't end up breaking, what would the solution be there?
Well, what we can often do with hake, that's actually a very good question. With hake, what you do is you get it in and then you lightly salt the fillets, so as if you were seasoning it already, and you leave it for about an hour in the fridge and it will firm up.
Okay.
Because hake can sometimes be mushy.
Oh, well, Nasli, I hope that answered your question. Now, Chef, you are about to are you busy with the roulade?
I'm busy with the roulade now. Today, this is the one I'm nervous about, so I'm going to have to motor a little bit.
Go for it. What's making you nervous? Is it because there's so many steps and not enough time, or is this something that requires a lot of concentration?
More steps than the other dishes. And a little bit less time. So, yeah, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the real thing.
The actual time, the one that ticks. So, Chef, am I in your way? Should I move this side?
Yes, you can. You can also...
So talk us through what you've done so far. I've seen some onions going into your first pan.
Onions and leek, and then diced prawn.
And some diced prawn.
That goes into... The prawn has been blanched. Blanched means just boiled very quickly in boiling water, and then it's been diced afterwards. So that's going to be like my stuffing to the roulade.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I love how organized you are. You have everything here. This is so fantastic. We're obviously going to be wrapping our hake into some phyllo pastry. Which
Correct.
way do you pronounce it?
I call it phyllo, but
Phyllo.
phyllo is also 100% acceptable. Tomato, you know.
True. Although no one says potato. So.
No, exactly right. So this is the hake that has been like lightly seasoned with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I've rolled it in dill.
Okay.
So you can see my stuffing is nicely, we call it sweating an onion. So it's like cooking it without colour.
Okay.
And then
Can I tilt that to camera so they can just see how beautiful it looks? Oh, that is fantastic,
Then I'm
Chef.
going to add a little bit of fish stock to that. Just moisten it with a little bit of fish stock. So what I would do to make the fish stock, I would basically take a little bit of the fennel, a little bit of onion, the bones from the hake. So I'd ask the fishmonger to give me the fillet skin off, and I'd ask him to, or her, to give me the bones separately.
Okay.
And then I'd just boil them in water with those vegetables.
And really pull those flavors out. And the nice thing is this is something you make well in advance, your fish stock, your mussel stock, any of the different stocks that you will be using.
Exactly, and you can freeze it all.
Okay.
That's actually the key, is make it and freeze it. Then next time you don't need to necessarily, you don't need to make it fresh every single time. You can freeze it.
So, Chef, what is that?
This is called a beurre manier. So it's flour. It's, you know, often we use French terminology
Can
because...
I grab you a fork or something to just loosen it a bit?
Yeah, you can help me with that. That's great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Just to get it loosened a little bit. You just want a couple of crummies, I believe.
Yeah, just a couple of crumbs. So it's 50% flour, 50% butter, melted. It's like if you're making a white sauce, it's like the roux to the white sauce. So you can see that's just thickening up nicely now.
Oh, fantastic.
In this pan, again, I've sweated some onions with a little bit of garlic. I'm going to add mussels to that. Those are, I bought frozen half-shell mussels. They're perfectly acceptable.
Ooh.
And you can see that's turned into a little bit of a kind of light glue, I would say, for want of a better word. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cream and just moisten it with cream.
What consistency are we looking for?
We want it to be quite thick.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to pour out of the roulade when it's being made. I'm going to turn up a little bit of heat so the onions are sweated. I'm going to put some tarragon. I can't help myself.
Go for it. We are here just to observe, because this is an art that we are witnessing.
A little bit of white wine. So this is a kind of version of your moule marinier, you know, where you would cook the mussels with white wine, garlic, onions,
Is
lots
that when
of
the
parsley.
flame can also go?
Flames going everywhere, lid on, shaking the pan like that.
I love that.
Okay.
So we have quite a few components that we are getting through. So you have now made that beautiful creamy sauce with the prawn.
Yeah, lots of chives. Stirred through. And then that I will cool, and I'll end up with that.
Okay, so we have some finished, and this is the roulade.
That is the filling for the roulade.
For the roulade.
So while that, I'm going to do a little half a double step there. While the mussel cream is being made, which you can see there, the wine's cooking down, I'm going to add some cream to that and just let that reduce, which means to boil relatively quickly, and the liquid will thicken as the water evaporates away from it.
Okay. Well, Chef, we've got another voice note in, this one from Sipo, having a question regarding the roulade. So let's take a listen. Good morning, Sipo.
Hi, this is Sipo from Devon. Can you make a roulade with any type of meat?
Okay, so we're making hake today. Is this the type of dish you can make with alternative meat?
Absolutely. I mean, I would love to make a beef fillet or a nice piece of beef and then replace this with mushrooms.
Oh.
Instead of the prawns, I would add lots of mushrooms. I would spread them on there. I'd have my little piece of beef and I'd just roll it up, and I would make the sauce a kind of meat-based sauce, you know?
Okay. And could you use, instead of the prawn, some bacon bits? Is that...
You could totally use some bacon bits.
Okay.
That's actually genius.
Oh.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay. Oh, I love that. Well, while chef's finishing up our roulade, I believe that just goes into the baking tray and we pop it into the oven.
Into the baking tray, pop it in the oven, 180 for approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. And then, chef, we have a finished one over there, but of course there's a special way you probably want to plate it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna plate it here, or shall I plate it over there
You
with
can
you?
plate it here, but we might buy you some time. How does that sound?
Buy me some time.
We'll buy you some time so that we can come back and just see this masterpiece that you have created for us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed this Culinary Hotline Bling, a very special one with Luke Dale Roberts in our kitchen, giving us a fine dining experience for a change.